Hi, everybody. Letting you all get logged on here. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Somebody let me know you guys can hear me. I'm letting people log on.
Yes.
We can hear you, Patti.
Yeah. And I figured out the security deposit interest on the first year with Mona this morning. Thank you, Arlene.
Thanks,
All
Mom.
right.
Thanks, Patty.
No, thank you. All right. I see how she pulls that one. All right, I think I got everybody in here. I'm supposed to invite somebody, and now for the life of me, I can't remember who it was. Now I know. I'm so bad. Anybody have anything they want to talk about or discuss while I'm multitasking?
Patty, I have a question if you don't mind.
I don't mind one bit.
For the security deposit disposition, I know I talked to you about how my invoices won't be in on time and that I might have to possibly do the estimates. If I do the estimates, can it come from me? Because yeah, can the estimates come from me? And what I mean in regard to that specifically, for instance, Burtech, they bill every 2 months. So I literally won't get their invoice until, I don't know, mid-June or something like that. And I need to mail stuff out
So you do
by
it
May 20th.
estimated based on the last bill. You can also call Burtech and see if a final bill was paid by the tenant. If it wasn't, then they can give you that amount over the phone.
Yes, so they haven't paid since December
Okay.
and they're making payments. But in order to get my tenants moved out on May 2nd. So in order to get the last 2 days, I have to wait a very long time. And I asked them, well, can't you just give me, they were able to tell me more or less what it would be. And I said, okay, great. Can you give that to me in like an estimate version? And they said no. So is it
Okay.
fine if
Do
I
you have the
write it
bill
up?
from last month?
Yes. Yes.
Include that and call it an estimate.
So but obviously it's going to be a couple more dollars because of the extra 2 days. So do I change the amount?
I would estimate high. We don't know how
Oh,
much it's
okay.
going to change. It's an estimate based on last month's bill.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And then add like a little something on it for
Add
estimate
20
of two
bucks to
days.
it.
Okay. Got it. And then I have to send those out still within the same time frame within the 21 days. And then I get an extra, I guess, 2 weeks from whenever the last bill is.
And if the last bill comes 6 months later, how much time do you have?
Still the same 2 weeks, the 14 days.
You have 6 months and 14 days to
Oh,
give them
okay.
the final disposition. Okay.
Now, just on a personal business decision, or I guess what you've done, is it really worth? I mean, I guess the amount will depend on whether it's worth waiting the 6 months, but I mean, do you do that? Because it's like, man, I have to like always keep this in my forefront.
I use it to buy time.
Oh, see, in my head, I just want to be done. Like, I want it like
I
done.
understand that, but you can't be done. Let's take that go, go, go personality and put it on a short leash because you can't be done. You don't
Hmm.
have the final invoice. But I usually use that system to buy more time. Look at it in corporate America, okay? When you have somebody that's crushed a unit, that extra time is priceless, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where
Okay.
I usually utilize it. However, I see how sometimes we're forced to utilize
Okay. Got it. So then I guess I
it.
shouldn't
And
be
look at it
afraid to
this
use
way.
it.
No, don't be afraid to use it. And look at it this way. Since you know what everything else is going to be, write up your final disposition of security deposit. And the second you get that final invoice, send it off. Be done with it.
So the other invoices, I could send them as invoices or whatever I've received, I could send them as
Right.
invoices.
So if you already have them as a paid invoice, you can already put them in the fine. Like, okay, I'm done with the estimated. Now let me start the final. All that information for the most part's the same, except for the invoices you have not yet received.
Okay, but do I have to send it twice? Like send it the invoices with the
Absolutely.
estimate and then send everything
Absolutely.
all at once again on, okay, got it. Thank you.
I don't know. I've always done it where I'm inundating them with the information. I would hate to get into a legal battle and have them say that I didn't provide them written estimates. I would hate to get into a legal battle and have them say I didn't give them the invoices on my final. I
Do
only
you,
did it on an estimated. Estimateds don't count, right? It just buys you
mhm,
time.
okay. And do you mail this? I mean, obviously you mail it out, but do you also communicate via text?
I email.
Okay, got it.
Because you can send a lot more bigger attachments in an email than you can in a text. My lunch
Okay.
is here, you guys. We're gonna get it for the dog barks. Like, don't laugh at me. I door dashed some food. No, don't you bark. Hang on, you guys. Hey, Blue, get back. Get back, Blue. You can't eat the delivery guy, okay? Thank you, guys. Sorry. My bad. Is this guy coming back to my door? Hold on. You may have to get a weapon. Blue's not good enough. She has no teeth. What does this guy want? Just lock the door. Hey, door's locked. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry. Life happens, you know?
And I want to piggyback on that question
Okay.
in regards to security and
3337.
disposition.
Sorry.
So that's okay. So my tenant I evicted, I sent in the mail to them a packet of all the written estimates.
Mhm.
I sent it to the last known address I had,
Which was your property.
which was our property. And, you know, I have not been in touch with that tenant ever since. I'm waiting to get the money judgment on them, and that'll be our next conversation. Um, you know, I never did a final. Should I be concerned?
I'm sure that if you look in your tenant file, you absolutely did a final disposition because that's a requirement of the law.
Okay. Okay.
The reason you weren't served with a lawsuit is because you can't until you have a final.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Can you go sue somebody based on an estimate they gave you? No. You can't sue off an estimate, so they can't file small claims until you do a final.
Right. And I mean, you know, the tenant never got it. You know, it went into his mailbox.
I get it.
You
I've
get it. I
evicted
know.
people. Amen, sister. But do the proper process and procedure so your asset is protected.
Okay. So I should mail to the last known address, our house, the
The
final.
final disposition of security deposit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which he's not going to accept because he's never going to get it because he didn't put in a forwarding address and it's going to freak
Right.
out the new tenant. Or there's no new tenants yet because you're still fixing the place. So you're actually going to put return to sender, no longer at this address. Only
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to put it back in the mail because you already know it's just going to come back to you. So you just stick it
Right.
in your tenant file with that verbiage written on it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And then I have another question. Aren't
This
we?
one's $1. I'm kidding. Kidding. So kidding. I've dealt with some pretty feisty questions this morning at the apartment association. So
Uh-oh.
I am loaded for bear today.
What's your experience? Isn't the eviction court in City of LA, don't they handle the same court handles the money judgments?
Yes.
Yes, and money judgments are the ugly stepchild of the evictions, correct? Like, I mean, they just get
Yeah.
the last looks. Because I'm waiting forever. We're going upwards 6 months.
Wait, you filed a SMC case?
Yes.
And did you check with them to see if you have a court date?
Nope. It's been according to my legal counsel, they've had to resubmit. They said they're dealing with a cranky clerk and just to wait. And I'm just done waiting.
How long has it been?
Since October. Yeah, that's my reaction too.
I'm not going to say anything other than, have you contacted Kelly over at Fast Effect? Her number is 909-889-2000. Tell her
Okay.
Patty sent you and you need to file a small claims. If Kelly's unavailable, please ask for Cheryl.
Okay. But what would the small claims do?
Oh, you're trying to do a 585 money judgment.
Yeah. I mean, my former tenant
Hold on, hold on,
just,
hold on, hold on.
yeah.
A 585 money judgment only covers the loss of rent from the
Yep.
3-day notice all the way through possession.
Yeah.
That's all a 585 does.
Yep. That's
And
what I want.
and I would call I know that's what we want. That's what we all want. For anything above and beyond, damage to the property, a broken window, lack of cleanliness, all of that would go on a small claims case.
Right.
So that would be an additional one if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah.
A 585 money judgment is a long process. 6 months, it could take 6 months. It could take 9 months. It just
Okay.
dawned on me, click what you're trying to do. I clicked the wrong tab open in my brain, if that makes sense to you guys.
It does.
I was going in a different rabbit hole, wrong tree. Okay, it happens. I am blonde. It happens.
Yep.
So with
Yeah.
that said, hang in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would call the clerk of the court, because you have the capability of doing that, and ask them how much time do they anticipate it take to get a 585 judgment filed.
Yeah, my legal counsel has been like, do not do that.
No, you're calling and asking a question. Don't give them your case number.
Okay. All
I
right.
never said give them your name.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I was just wondering about how long is it taking to get a 585 money judgment processed? If your legal counsel is telling you not to call and find out a simple question, you're not giving them your name, you're not giving them your case number, you're not inquiring about your specific stuff. Just asking a general question.
Right.
That's it. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Right.
If
Okay.
your counsel doesn't want you to call them, I see that as a red flag.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
tell mom. Don't tell mom. That's how I see it. Sorry.
That's
So
all
I
right.
evicted somebody one day, and he hunted me down. And I gotta choose. Has nothing to do with ethnicity. Okay. This man hunted me down. Like, I got a text message because I was in eviction court on another matter and was supposed to show up at his house at like 11:30 in the morning to do the lockout. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting a message from my office while I'm sitting in the courthouse in Victorville, because this was decades ago when they still did eviction cases in Victorville. They don't anymore. Now they go to Barstow. And I was sitting there and I get this message from my office, and they're like, Patty, that crazy guy from blah, blah, blah unit is here looking for you. He's trying to do a pay and stay. I'm locking him out at 11:30. Screw him. You tell him I'm unavailable today, unfortunately, until later this afternoon when I meet him with the sheriff marshal at his house. Do you know that one of the idiots in my office said, well, she's at court this morning? He showed up in the courthouse looking for me like a raving lunatic. I went up and told the bailiff, hey, I have a problem. I have somebody that's at my office looking for me, threatening to come here looking for me in another matter not being heard today. The bailiff took one look at me and said, I've seen you in my courtroom before. Sit right here where I can see you. And I was like, yes, yes. If those of you that have never met me in person, I am 4'8", okay? So I hid like this, and one of my coworkers sat up real tall next to me this way, and they're like, here he comes, and I'm like, oh my God, and I got this book open over my face hiding. It was great. I did lock him out, and then when he was leaving my office after he paid and stayed, because I did go all the way through the process, as a matter of principle, because this man played games with me for quite some time regarding his finances. and he had the means. As he's walking out of my office after he just paid me $10,000 in cash, he turns to his young minor child and says, "Whatever you do, don't tell mom what happened today." You got evicted. You got locked out of your house. You paid $10,000 to get back in your house, and your wife's at work, and she has no idea any of this is going on. Don't tell mom. Can you imagine? Okay, that was the end of that story. Sorry, squirrel, had to go there. Anybody else have anything? Oh, I'm a lot of fun at cocktail parties. I got stories. I should write a book called Property Management Stories, right? I got quite a few of them. I think the best one I ever had was in the courthouse, and this gimme gimme goblin was being evicted because she don't judge, okay? Don't judge. She didn't pay her extermination fees for the bed bug infestation that she caused. It was so bad it required the house to be tented and cost the owner over $5,000 for bed bugs. So I billed it back to her and then applied her incoming rent towards that payment and then evicted her for non-payment of rent. Not in LA. Several years ago, prior to COVID, okay? As she walked up to get a call up to the bench, she flipped up priest collar on her neck. What? Okay, I don't care. Doesn't affect me. I'm just gonna spill the truth and we'll go from there. So I spilled the truth. Judge questioned her of why she didn't pay as she was requested to. And she said, "'Cause I'm a woman of the church," or something along those lines. And I just again tried to keep my composure. And then she did something that caused the judge to get angry. And the judge said, "And why would you think you would still be able to live there, ma'am?" And I went, because I knew the judge was pissed at this point. And then she just started running her mouth to the point where the judge is over speaking her, making a ruling in my favor, and then asking the bailiff to remove her from the courtroom. So instead of leaving the courtroom when you have a conflict in a courtroom, when you're done speaking, do not leave. Do not go outside. You become prey. Okay? Take your happy little ass and go sit back down in the courtroom and wait 15 minutes or so until that person goes raging all the way to their car and leaves the parking lot before you even leave the courtroom. While you're in the courtroom, you're protected by a bailiff. Okay? You step out of that courtroom and that bailiff is no longer watching. Okay? So my opinion is when you have a conflict going on in a court case and you win or you lose or whatever happens, do not go out into the lobby. Sit your butt back down where you were sitting 10 minutes ago in the same bench and wait 15 or 20 minutes. The second you walk out that door, you will be verbally accosted. And the second you get out of the building, you could be physically assaulted. That's why I wait for 15 minutes. Let me tell you something. In that commotion, I immediately went right back down and sat my butt down in the bench. She was escorted out of the room. I sat there and waited. I always wait 15 or 20 minutes. It's kind of interesting to hear what's going on in the case behind yours. So sit down and listen. You might learn something, okay? While I was sitting there listening to the case behind mine, I got tapped on the shoulder. I turned my head and there's a sheriff's deputy standing there. And he says to me very calmly, "Ma'am, did you have any further business in this courtroom?" And I looked at him and said, "No, sir. I was waiting for the storm to pass." He chuckled a bit and said, "My men and I are prepared to walk you to your car. You're more than welcome to come outside now." And I looked at him and said, "Thank you." So sometimes The bailiff that's sitting there that can't leave or do anything has friends he can call that come and help you. And if you're that bad off and it's that much of a conflict, you can ask the bailiff, I'm going to sit here until someone can escort me to my vehicle. I don't feel safe. It's okay. Used it all many times, okay? It works. It's fine. That's what they're there for. And when you see them on a regular basis, unfortunately, like I did, you become building a trust or a relationship with them, if you will. Oh, I see more questions. Hang on. Yeah, they can wait for you outside, but that's why I wait 15 or 20 minutes. Usually because they walk out of the building bitching, they wait a little bit, and then they're still standing there bitching. They're never quiet. So eventually a deputy will kick them out of the hallway and tell them they have to leave, and then they go outside and do a little bit more bitching. And sometimes the deputies will follow them all the way out. Sometimes they'll follow them all the way to their car, telling them they need to leave, their case is over. So the deputies are pretty good about it, but you guys don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't count on something will or something will not happen. Be prepared. Mr. Murphy has been hiding over me for my whole life. He can and will prove himself at any given time. Murphy's Law, right? So if you have a high conflict, protect yourself. There's a difference between a victim and a survivor. We're survivors, folks. We are not victims. So just avoid it. It's only 15 minutes. The next case may be interesting, okay? Sit down. You might learn something. And worst thing that's going to happen is a deputy's going to come escort you to your car. Yeah, that doesn't make you look important, right? It's great when 4 of them escort you to your car. And the whole time you're walking to your car going, I think my tags are expired. Holy crap, they're going to get me. They're not going to get you. Oh. All right. Anybody have anything else? Come on, throw your best stuff at me. Otherwise, I'm going to eat my lunch. Hey, I'm human. You guys are laughing because you can relate. We're all human. We're like, oh, I have to go to the courthouse today and my tags are expired. Where should I park? Oh, humans. I crack myself up. Let me tell you.
Patty, you want to talk about that website with the security department for LARSO?
Talk about the website. You mean
The
talk
security
about,
deposit interest calculator.
I have that security deposit interest calculator on my website, actually.
Mhm.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't see that.
I now have a new tool on my website. It's a security deposit interest calculator, and it goes based by year. So I have a new tool in the tools under Widget's Ways website with a security deposit interest calculator for LARSO properties. I am having them build me one right now for Pasadena properties because that's the only other thing that has to pay interest on security deposit. At this time, it's anything in RSO and under Measure H, which is City of Pasadena.
Does it break it down by months?
Yes, it can.
Okay, great. Okay.
I try, you guys. I tried really hard to give you the tools that I want. I told my web guy, can't you build this into a app or a program or a something? And he said, of course I can, Patty. Just give me the information. So I gave him all the information, and guess what? We now have a security deposit interest calculator in our tools platform on Widget's Way website.
Great. Can we get a form with AGLA?
A form?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
To provide with, so that when you send the funds, the tenant knows what you're sending.
I would print out the form with AGLA that's got it listed by year on what the calculations are. Utilizing them hand in hand together, they should be perfect.
I want to say I was
Would
able
you send that certified?
You can, if you're sending them a check, they may not cash the check. I mean, that's what happens with that. So then if they don't cash the check, I would immediately issue a rent credit on their ledger.
Can you do it by Zelle?
If you can prove that you paid them beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes. Like that answer?
Okay.
JCO does not require security deposit interest, correct? To the best of my knowledge, not at this time. The only thing I'm aware of that requires us to pay interest on a security deposit is anything under RSO. So Sherman Oaks, San Pedro, and then the other one is Pasadena, Measure H. I don't know why they didn't call it Measure P for Pasadena. They have to add more loopholes in it, right? Holly, I'm sure it's coming.
Hey, Patty, I have a question from a couple weeks ago. I wasn't able to join last week, or I got on, but I didn't have the information in front of me. But I had sent you an email. Just want you guys' opinion on this. I'm asking for my sister who rents in LA. She's in Mar Vista, Culver City area. So I'm not sure if she's DCBA or not. But the question is, her landlord, who she's been living in this place for 20 years now, and she's always paid her rent to her landlord, either depositing the money in her bank account, or Venmo or whatever. And so the landlord just recently got a new property management company, and the property management company says that now the tenants have to pay rent to this company, and that if they want to pay electronically, they have to pay a fee to pay electronically, or they can just mail a check, but then you're at the mercy of the post office for it not getting there on time. So is that legal? Does she have to incur the fee of paying via
No, she can
electronic
mail them a
payment?
check.
She can mail the check. But but that means you got to be at the mercy of the post office. What if the check doesn't get there by a certain date, or it's lost? What happens?
I can't help you with that. That's why they're offering you to do online payment for a fee.
So even though she's been doing that for the last 20 years, doesn't matter.
Is she an RSO?
I'll find out if she's RSO, and then I can email you.
If she's RSO, I would re-ask me the question with that as being under RSO.
Okay.
If she's not RSO, the law states that a landlord must provide a way for a tenant to pay the rent that doesn't have the tenant incur a fee. And with
Okay.
that statement, money
Mm-hmm.
orders and cashier's checks are not included in what I
Correct.
said.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to go to 7-Eleven to pay online
Mm-hmm.
with 7-Eleven through that whole thing
Right.
to do with
Right.
bill pay or whatever, as long as they don't have to pay a fee to do that at 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm. I think that was a part of the letter. It said you can go to a 7-Eleven or some other store and pay via this
Uh-huh.
machine.
But they're
Um,
offering you just mail a personal check that
yep.
doesn't charge them a fee, so they're compliant with the law. There has to be
Okay.
one way for the
Mm-hmm.
tenant to pay that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't charge them
Charge a
a
fee.
fee. Now, I'm
Okay.
going to ask you a question. Is that
Okay.
address that they're giving you to mail the rent check to a physical address or a P.O. box?
I will have to check.
Okay, check, because if it's a physical address, she should be able to show up there and pay the rent without a
Ah, okay. Okay.
to
Okay.
answer your question regarding the mail.
Uh-huh. If it is a PO box, then what?
Then there's not somebody manning it, meaning they have to wait 7 days if the only way they have to pay the rent
It's a
without charging a fee is
right. It's
unmanned.
okay. 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 I'll have her pull out the letter again and see. So
No
we'll
worries, but there's a
okay.
lot,
But if it's RSO.
people, and thank you for asking this question because you guys have to understand. A lot of times when you guys ask a question, it is not a simple yes or no answer. It is
Right.
lots of moving pieces and parts. And explaining about rent collection or how the rent is collected is a great way to show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then in your email back to me, you said something about, is it legal? I asked, was it legal? And you said, not if it doesn't give a change of agent or agent for service.
Bingo. Okay, you guys, when we do a takeover letter, and I wrote this down, I think it's California Civil Code 1067, but that doesn't sound right. It's got to be 1942. And we're required to tell them there's a change of management. We also have to give them the new agent for service. They want to sue us. Who do they serve the lawsuit to? It has to be in a takeover letter. Agent for service must be in the takeover letter.
So it
Agent
has
for
to say
service.
that, it has to say that specifically, agent for service in that letter.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It is a
Not just to pay the
requirement.
rent. Okay. Uh-huh.
You pay the rent to this person. You call this phone number in the event of an emergency. You go to this address to pay the rent. This person has your security deposit. And this is your new agent for service. 5 things on a notice, on a takeover letter. Who they pay the rent to, who they call in case of an emergency, where they pay the rent, who has their deposit, and who the new agent for service is. 5 things required on a takeover letter. I
I
should
don't
write an
think, yeah,
article.
you should. I don't think those 5 things were on that letter.
But I can't help you with a
Yeah.
mistake someone else did. I can
Yeah.
tell you what you need to do.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just, yeah, I'm going to pull up, I'll have her pull up the letter. Okay. Thank you.
A requirement for agent of service. When mailing the security deposit estimates, do you pay extra for proof of tracking? No, I just do proof of mailing to prove that I mailed it within 21 days. Proof of mailing. I want to be able to prove that I mailed it on that day at that time. That's all I care about. I don't care if they receive it or not. I don't care if they refuse it. I don't care if it bounces around from post office to post office and goes to Honolulu before it comes back to me as undeliverable. I don't care. I want to prove I mailed it on that day at that time. It's called proof of mailing. And you can pay for it with the postal service. Screw certified. I learned a long time ago, anytime you get a certified letter, it's coming with a lawsuit. So most tenants don't sign for the certified mail. Ah, I don't sign certified mail either until I know exactly what it's for. Can you tell me who the sender is on this before I agree to sign for it? Yes, absolutely. They
They now
can.
let you do certified with no signature.
Yeah, I get it. But what's the point? To prove that you attempted to deliver it? What if they refuse it the entire time? It just comes back refused. What we need to do is prove we mailed it in 21 days. So get proof of mailing.
Same for rent increase.
Think about what I said to you.
Mhm.
We also want to send that certified mail because we're asking them to acknowledge that they received it, especially in a service of a notice, especially if it's terminating tenancy or raising the rent. I always try personal service and also send certified for those documents. But they usually ignore the certified mail once they've personally been served. And I always tell them, you're going to get a copy in the mail, so don't forget to sign for it. It's just me doing my job. Easy peasy. And they know and trust me because I tell them, if you're going to complain to me on Yelp, make sure you spell my name right. Under Yelp's own terms of service, they can't name an employee for the property owner. It's illegal under their terms of service. So you just call Yelp and ask them to remove the review because they named you personally. Don't forget to spell my name right. Somebody's giggling right now. I can hear you, and it's not through your microphone. It's you just understood that. Sarcasm, just a wee bit of sarcasm. Anybody else have anything? Because my lunch is sitting here, remember? But if you guys don't need me, I'm going to go. But if you need me, I want to answer your questions. I don't want you to feel abandoned. Blue, what are you doing? Nobody has anything? Okay, so here's the story for this weekend, you guys. And I think it's going to go south on me. I'm supposed to go deep sea fishing. It's my annual deep sea fishing trip. Only I think it's going to be canceled to gale force winds. Again. What is that? 2 years in a row, Arlie? Who would have thought? Okay. Everybody have a wonderful day. If you need me, feel free to reach out to me. I may not be available this weekend. Fingers crossed, I will not be available this weekend. Chances are I will be. If you guys need me, feel free to give me a ring. I'd be more than happy to help assist you. You guys have a great week and stay cool out there. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have fun.
I will try. Let's hope I get to go on the
If you get to
water.
go, I
Let's hope
know.
I get to go.
Be
30,
safe.
30 mile an hour winds means 12-foot seas.
Oh,
You're too
That's-
little for that.
High
Yeah,
wind comes
that's-
high seas, high surf.
yeah.
Not
I
good.
Yeah.
don't want to do that. I'm not riding a bunkin' Bronco. I'm going on a boat.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, have
Stay
a great
safe.
week. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.